I have a tattoo on me that I got, Jesus, now 24 years ago, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. It's my first tattoo, and it's my most regrettable.
Wait, what is it
But
again?
it's not regrettable because my dad took me, and it was my first tattoo, and it reminds me of that moment. And my dad had recently was about to turn 50. He was going through like a midlife thing, and he got his first tattoo. And then after that, he took me to get mine when I turned 18.
You got it on your ankle?
It's bad.
Like a fucking sorority girl? Really?
Well, let me just say this. Okay,
you've showed me this, and I forget what it is.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
When I got it in, I guess it was 1994ish. I was like I was it was like grunge. I was like a hippie dude. I had long hair. I was like that was the style back then.
What is it, a blind melon tattoo?
No, thank God.
I was going to say, if
it's
you
worse.
pull up and revealed the Sublime Son, that would be my favorite
No,
thing
it's no
I've ever
band
seen.
or anything. So this is what happened. I went, and I'm not this before, but I go with my dad. So it's special. Like it was illegal in New York. We had to go to Jersey.
Yeah.
And we get there, and I looked through the whole place. I didn't think like I could get my own thing. I was like, let me go look through the books. I didn't really. I looked through everything, and I couldn't find anything. And I want to say this. Back then, I think this has changed, but back then, there was a real arrogance with tattoo artists and tattoo shop owners. They, at least here and in Jersey, they would treat you like you're wasting my time. Like, what do you want? Let's go. Like, I'm the professional. You're lucky to. That's how it always felt. So I was young. I was a little intimidated. I went there. I couldn't find anything I liked. And then my dad's like, really? You're not going to get anything? Like, out of all this? And I was like, yeah. And thank God I didn't get. Thank God. But actually, thank God the guy was a dick.
Right.
Well, he really only made me get another different tattoo that's just as bad. But I said at the time, I love cartoons, and
this ain't going in a good direction.
I know,
yeah.
but I go, all right, I guess maybe I felt forced, and I just was like, maybe the Daffy Duck.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Daffy Duck.
Yeah, and then the guy goes, I swear to you, I don't know who treats a human like this, let alone a customer. He goes, yeah. He goes. You look like a cartooner when you came in.
A cartooner?
A cartooner.
Oh, my God. That's how they talk in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, really? Yeah. I was like, I felt so stupid. I was about to be like, let me have, the skull killing the snake. I didn't know. And then he goes, well, this is new. And he gives me one last book, and I open it, and there's tribal stuff in it. Now, this is before it was co-opted by the Guido community and anything like that.
This is when it was still underground in Staten
Sure,
Island.
no, this is, yeah.
And never mind the fact that I don't, like, tribal stuff shouldn't be on me. Like, back then, I'm 18, I didn't know. I'm like, oh, this is really cool abstract designs. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'll put a little band of tribal around my ankle. This is before before it was a fad, before it was taken over by a certain, and before it was corny. It was just fresh. And I did it, and in the moment, everyone loved it. Everyone was like, oh, cool, you got a cat around. Now I know how bad it is. I mean, it's just terrible. It's just really, really a bad tattoo.
What? Oh, my God.
It's hard.
That looks like it took a while, too.
Why?
It looks like it took a while.
I don't remember. It hurt, though. It hurt really bad.
Why don't you get it covered?
It's
been a part of black band around your ankle.
Like you did?
What do you mean?
Don't you have a solid black?
Well, I have solid black there to cover up my most regrettable tattoo, but I had it turned into something. But
I thought you had a solid black band.
No, but a lot of people do to cover up stuff like that. But my point is, a solid black band around your ankle, I think would look kind of cool.
It'll be better than this, but here's how I feel. This has been part of my identity and image since I'm 18. I went with my dad. It's a memory. I almost feel like, for better or worse, I keep it on my body. And that's what that was. I have 2 Jaden Smiths on my thighs. I'm not going to get rid of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. Kyle Kinane is big into that. Like, you have to celebrate your bad tattoos. But his bad tattoos are like, kind of like still kind of funny and kitschy and cool. Mm-hmm. So I always combated him on that stance.
Right.
I'm like, no, there's like a worse version of what you're talking about.
So to cap the story, sometime later, not that long after, I used to work in a delicatessen, a 24-hour deli here.
Okay.
And I was at the register ringing people up, and it was like a year later, not even, a big tank top tan Guido dude comes in, right? And the identical, I'm not the 100% identical tattoo is around his bicep. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, I'm ringing him up. I go, oh my God, I have that tattoo. Uh-huh. And he goes, no, you don't. And I said, no, I have that tattoo. He goes, it's impossible. I paid money to have it drawn for me specifically. They can't sell it. I said, well, do you want to believe that? Or do you want me to show you and then you take it up with the guy?
Right.
And he's like, where? And I just pointed down to my ankle and he went, that motherfucker. That guy, I think his name was Doug. He's like, where do I fucking go back there? I paid for this to be an original.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Don't you love that period too where tribal, anything that looked like thorns meant tribal? Like what tribe? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like what? Like
Yeah.
I remember calling stuff like that tribal.
Well,
Based on
barbed
what-
wire and stuff. But no, this seems
You were riding your bike on Highland Boulevard.
Yes.
You're not. What tribe were you?
Yeah, I had my
in?
tribe.
But
But
I
we
mean-
had a gang of bicyclists.
But I mean, based on why was it called tribal? Like what?
I guess the
tribe-
aesthetic of it. Like
That's what I mean, though. Like what is like tribal to me looks nothing like that. Like when
I
think
do
of-
not stand behind this.
Right.
Neither in concept, in theory, or on my body.
Oh God, Ed Hardy started it. Oh, you don't want to hear that.
Oh God, in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh well, this is 94. This is. I don't
Like
equate
when I
that
think
to.
tribal, I think of like almost like Asian lettering, that sort of aesthetic. Like that, like what tribe around the world has that as their? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one on the left, sort of, but not the.
It's so horrible now. Like in the summer, that tat is out the whole time, and I know I'm mocked roundly and snickered at, but I own it.
And it's on the ankle.
I know.
God, that sucks.
When you die, and you're on the slab,
Yeah.
and someone goes in and takes a picture
Yeah.
and puts it on the internet,
Yeah.
those tattoos will tell the story.
You just said my worst fear. I swear to God, you said my worst fear because there's no human being that has that job that is not going to start photographing a man
Yeah.
with Jaden Smith
Yeah.
tattoos on his thighs.
He's gonna be
and
like-
so my body
Yeah.
is going to be on the internet one day
Yeah.
dead. I think it is, and it's my worst fear, and I think about it all the time. And you just said that.
He's gonna say, the guy at the morgue is gonna say, "Get in here. You got to see this." It's one of the
I know.
tenderloins.
Yeah. And the other
It's
guy,
one of the
the other guy
tenderloins.
goes, "Do you mean Staten Island's
Yeah.
premiere?"
Oh my God, man. Yeah, I'm scared. I was getting a massage once on the up and up, and at the end of it, the woman leaned in. she was an Asian woman, but it wasn't like anything bad. It was a professional place, and she leaned in. It was like the 57th minute, and I was on my back, and she leaned in, and she was right here. I heard her whisper right. She goes, "Will Smith." And then I was like, oh my God.
God, that's horrible.
Because she's been looking at it for 57 minutes. And I just turned around. I had to do that. I turned around. I looked at her. I went, no. I go, that would be ridiculous. It's his son. It's his child. And I put my head back in the thing and just started laughing. She's like, he has a 15-year-old boy in his
Oh,
thigh.
that's so funny.
The left, Jaden, is 15. The right's 21. Yeah.
How old is he now? He's like 30 now, right?
Not even close, though. Not even close to that.
Yeah.
No?
23?
Yeah.
That's it?
Maybe, you know what? He was 21 when I filmed the movie in 2008. So he's probably 25.
Okay.
So 15.
Yeah, 15, 16.
And how old's the second tattoo?
He's 21.
It's 21. So we're talking about every 6 years.
Every 6, right.
It's going to be just the tradition.
2 years. You're saying that? This has been brought up.
Yeah.
This has been brought up on the show, and they marked the difference in time, and they want me to get a third one on that. And honestly, I'll tell you right now, this was a hard sell because they threw it on me. In the movie, he springs it on me, and then we go to a tattoo shop, and he poses for it.
Yeah.
And and I was like, do I want another one of these things? It's 5 hours long. It's another boy on my leg. I'm like, what do I do? My lady doesn't like him, and I was like, but I have to do it in the name of comedy. I have to do it in the name of comedy. This is set up as undeniable. I have to do it. So I got it. And I don't know if it's because the show plays all the time. People are very, very well aware of this one. A lot of people saw the movie, but I've said this before. Happened in 2018. The movie came out in 2019. No one has ever, 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 ever once mentioned the other one to me. They never brought it up. They never said anything. They never once. Only the first one.
The movie came out in 2020.
Oh, 2020. Right, right.
It was the last thing I saw.
That's right. It was in the
I was in
theaters.
the theater, and I was like, should I be in a theater? I might be getting
You're right. It
COVID.
was right. It was
Well,
right
thank you
at
for
the
that.
Yeah.
break of the
Yeah.
virus.
we were
I
in,
forgot
we
about
were in
that.
we were heading into our 5th week in theaters when it came out. We'll forever be one of the 10 movies that were in theaters when the world shut. Yeah.
Do you ever make eye contact with him during sex?
Well,
No, you're not looking down.
I mean, the logistics are rough.
That's
No.
so weird.
I forget I have them.
Taste buds, they coming to the mic, talking about the food they hate, talking about the food they like. Two fools gonna fight, but only one food.